Hello friends, we are going to explain FM receiver today. So we know there are various kind of signals and we can do various type of modulation to pass the signal or convey the signal. So there are three basic type of modulation that we have. One is the amplitude modulation, other one is frequency modulation, and the last one is the phase modulation. So if we have original wave something like this, then amplitude modulation looks like this. The frequency remains the same in amplitude modulation, whereas the frequency modulation looks like this. The frequency is changed, however the amplitude remains the same. So what we are going to explain today is the frequency modulation, how it is received, how it is demodulated back into the original signal. So this is the block diagram of FM receiver. We first have the aerial or antenna which receives the different type of frequency modulated, different type of signal modulated at different frequency, and it passes on the signal to the RF amplifier. What RF amplifier consists of is a pre-selector and an amplifier. So a pre-selector is a broad tuned band pass filter with which we can adjust the central frequency. Its main function is to reject unwanted frequency, and it also reduces the noise along with amplifying the signal. The wave goes from RF amplifier to the mixture. We have two type of signal that we receive in the mixture. One is from the oscillator and the other one is from the RF amplifier. The wave received from the RF amplifier is the original one that we have received from the AL, and the wave received from the oscillated one is the manipulated one, or we can set it according to our will to get the required wave in the IF section. What mixture does is the two waves are operated upon, and we get various other waves such as the added one, the subtracted one, the original one, and other harmonics which are passed on to the IF section. In mixture, the shape, bandwidth, and the information contained by the wave remains the same. However, the frequency of carrier wave is reduced so that IF section can work properly on the signal wave. So after this, the wave is passed on to the IF section, where the IF section contains the IF amplifier and a band pass filter. So we have various side band waves which we get from mixture. So the IF section rejects those waves and only acts upon the one which we require, and it also amplifies the wave. The signal in IF has a lot lower frequency than the signal in radio frequency because with lesser frequency it's very less expensive, and we get a stability and a proper amplification. Signal is transferred from IF section to the demodulation section. What demodulation section does is it converts back the frequency modulated wave into the original one, so that we can have it convey further. So from this we can see that higher amplitude means higher frequency and lower amplitude means lower frequency. So what demodulation does is it converts the frequency modulated wave into a frequency and an amplitude modulated wave, so that we can remove the part which is inside the envelope and convey and pass the envelope ahead to get the original frequency back. So the basic principle on which demodulation works is this. After this, the signal is passed into the voltage and power amplification, where various types of amplifications are done on the wave, and then it is transferred to the loudspeaker so that we can proceed and process the wave ahead.
So just now Manan told you about the basic components of an FM receiver and how it works. Now I Sarath Tagi am going to explain you the functioning of RF amplifier. So basically this is an antenna of the receiver, where the antenna receives the signals and it passes on to the RF amplifier. What an RF amplifier does is it amplifies the waves, plus it acts as a coarse filter. It filter out the noise as well as the large range of frequencies being received on the antenna, and just passes on a short bandwidth of frequencies to the mixer and further on. Now, how does an RF amplifier work? This is the basic circuit diagram of an RF amplifier. Here you can see this is the antenna, and this is inductor capacitor, and here is the BJT. Now what we are doing is we are receiving frequencies from the antenna, but we want a certain bandwidth of frequencies. So This is a variable capacitor. We set a capacitor in a certain way such that the frequencies of LC oscillations in this circuit are set on. Now those frequencies which are close to the resonant frequency of the LC oscillations are passed on, because these are only which are significant and are amplified through BJT. And we can see this, that in this circuit, this entire circuit, this BJT is in active region and is acting as an amplifier. So what this circuit is actually doing is it is selecting the certain frequencies which are close to the resonant frequency of this LC circuit and amplifying it through this BJT and then passing on further. So now we'll explain about what an oscillator is. Oscillator is basically this circuit. In this we have a variable capacitor placed here, and what an oscillator is doing is we are getting a desired frequency from an oscillator, which will tell you further what the desired frequency is. And the oscillator, the variable capacitor in the oscillator is actually gang coupled with that variable capacitor which I talked to you just now in the RF circuit. What this gang coupling does is, if we increase the frequency of this LC oscillations by a certain amount, the same increase takes place in this LC oscillations, so that the difference basically remains constant. And the basic function of this oscillator is that it provides this frequency to the mixer, and it goes to the mixer, and these oscillations are equal to the frequency of these LC oscillations. Now the basic part is the main part is of the mixer. Basically the FM radio is called a super heterodyne, and the heterodyning refers to the intermixing of two waves, and this heterodyning is done through a mixer only. What a mixer does is, mixer actually takes two inputs from this receiver as well as from the oscillator, and gives us an output of frequency equal to the difference and sum of the frequencies of both the circuits. Now, so suppose we have an input signal from the RF amplifier to the A sin omega t, A sin omega 1 t, and from the oscillator we have A sin omega 2 t. What a mixer is doing is it is actually multiplying these two signals. So this is the way that the mixer passes further. And so here we see that the mixer is giving actually a mixture of two waves, one with a difference with the frequency equal to difference of frequencies of both these circuits, and the one which is actually the sum of frequencies of both the circuits. We actually want this circuit, so this frequency wave is actually withered away, which we'll come to know afterwards. And so hence this is the basic functioning of a mixture. And this frequency, the difference of these two frequencies, is actually called the intermediate frequency, and this is the desired frequency, and it is a fixed frequency which we get, and this which we normally use is equal to 10.7 megahertz. This difference is actually passed on through a mixer circuit, and this is a fixed quantity. And you will come to know why it is fixed and how it is used.
So after the mixer, the wave of 10.7 megahertz central frequency goes into the IF amplifier. So this is the IF amplifier. This IF amplifier basically consists of two op amps. These are a special type of op amp, THS3202, who selectively amplify the 10.7 megahertz frequency they get in, and their amplification principle is the same as that of an operational amplifier, which I have drawn here, which is set up in the negative amplification mode, according to which, if the R input is infinity, A is infinity, and R output is infinity, writing the KCL at this particular point, I will get V0 minus Vn by R2 plus Vn by R1 is equal to 0, which on simplification gives V0 is equal to Vn times R2 by R1 with a negative sign. So this amplification process happens twice, and then we get an amplified wave which is of a very specific frequency of 10.7 megahertz, which is then passed on to the demodulator. This is a Foster series demodulator. As you can see here, we take the input plus minus Vi across this capacitor,
This is a radio frequency choke which has a reactance which is very high at the given frequency, so the potential drop across this is equal to Vi. Here we have two diodes D1 and D2. Here is a tunable capacitor which gives a natural frequency to this entire circuit. So basically, in a demodulator, what we do is we make the amplitude to be proportional to the change in frequency. So what happens in this particular circuit is, as we see in the phasor, if the input frequency is equal to the frequency of this oscillation, my IL1 is going to be perpendicular to the V input, because the IL1 is of this particular part. So due to which the flux is going to be in phase with the IL1. Due to this, the potential induced across this is going to be at a phase of 90 degree with the phi 1, since it's given by d phi by dt. Now coming to the simplified circuit over here. Now since the frequency is equal to the natural frequency of this, my current is going to be in phase with the voltage across this circuit. Hence the I2 is in phase with G1, and hence the potential drop across the inductor is exactly perpendicular, and perpendicular to E2. Now what happens is, this particular inductor is being divided into two, and the potential drop across these is the same. So applying KVL in this particular loop, we get V across diode 1 to be V2 plus Vi, and V across diode 2 to be equal to Vi minus V2. So in this phasor, this is VD1, VD2, and the V output is nothing but the sum of VD1 and VD2, which for natural frequency case is equal to 0. Now what happens if the frequency is slightly greater than the natural frequency? Due to that, the reactance of L increases, due to which it becomes an inductive circuit, due to which the I2 lags behind E2. So the potential drop, as you can see across the inductor, is perpendicular to the I2, and we get VD1 greater than VD2, and hence output is greater than 0. Similarly, if the input frequency is less than the natural frequency, it becomes a capacitive circuit similarly, and we see that voltage across diode 2 is greater than voltage across diode 1. So in this way, the change in frequency is mapped on to a change in amplitude, and the change in frequency across V output characteristic is given by this curve, where this is approximately linear in this particular segment to which it is restricted. Hence, the output amplitude is proportional to the frequency changes.
So this is the final circuit of a final FM radio. Here we have the antenna or the receiver. This is the RF amplifier, the mixer, the oscillator, the RF amplifier, and the demodulator, and the audio device in it. So now let us assume that the listener wants to hear 93 MHz, the audio session. So here the receiver will receive all the various bandwidths of the frequencies. Now what we will do while we are tuning the radio, we are actually tuning this capacitor so that this frequency is set. Now this will receive a lot of frequencies and then pass on a certain band of frequencies as the GAN coupled as well. Now we will set this frequency to be to 82.8 MHz, and then the receiver will pass a certain band of frequency. What the mixer will do, mixer will pass on the difference of these two frequencies, that is 10.7 MHz. This is the fixed frequency that will pass on to IF amplifier.
So this 10.7 MHz is then passed on to IF amplifier and demodulator. Along with this 10.7 MHz, many more waves are passed on, but they are filtered out in the IF amplifier, and this 10.7 MHz signal is amplified to 1,000 or more, scale of 1,000 or more. So this goes here and into the demodulator. This wave consists of all the modulation that was present in the original wave that was received there of 93.5 MHz. Only the frequency of the carrier wave has been reduced here in the mixer. This goes to the demodulator, which has been explained before, which gives an output to the audio device.